9,000 francs a square meter. So why all of a sudden demand, and why are people like, the daughter of the president of Kazakhstan buying these abodes for huge sums? Well, experts say it could be a way for people to essentially launder their money. It's a strategy of the future, in the words of one expert.
And Tony Blair's on the front cover of the Weltwoche this week. What's he doing there?
Yeah, this is timed, of course, to the book of memoirs he has that have come out. It's an exclusive interview with the Weltwoche under the title, We Must Not Capitulate. Also remember, not too long ago, that Die Weltwoche surveyed people in regions of surrounding countries, asking them if they'd like to join Switzerland, and, well, a majority did. But they also wanted to stay in the European Union. So how do you square that? Well, the University of Zurich professor Bruno Frey wrote in Die Weltwoche this week. He's proposing this novel idea: let's reinvent political structures, creating so-called functional units. These are sort of political entities that would cross borders and regulate specific questions like water supply, education, law enforcement, tourism, why not? Entities that would also allow for popular referendums that would be binding. Sounds like a transnational direct democracy pipe dream. It is, he admits it, which is why he doesn't think his idea will get very far. For now, at least, Frey concludes, man must trust in the future.
Now, this is interesting. The Swiss People's Party initiative to deport foreign criminals is on the ballot next month. L'Illustré is taking the opportunity to look back 40 years ago. An initiative to deport all foreigners was on the ballot then.
L'Illustré this week looking back on the Schwarzenbach years. James Schwarzenbach, the head of the tiny far-right movement who back in 1970 convinced 46% of Swiss people to vote in favor of a text to deport half the country's foreign population. Back then that was 300,000 people. Many of these people were seasonal workers from Southern Europe, and this week L'Illustré publishes photos of the time from photographer Mario Del Curto. These are pictures that the newspapers didn't want to publish in the 70s because they might be too polemic. In reality, they show really the tough life of the men who were coming here, haunting black and white images of a long line of shirtless men holding passports and numbers, awaiting a medical exam, pictures of the cramped barracks they lived in, also the solitude. One man with a worker looking at the camera, a bottle of beer and a letter from his family in the foreground. It's a trip a few decades back into Swiss history, giving us a perspective, I guess you could say, on the current discourse dominating the political scene.
And thanks for that, Jordan Davison. That's this week's Weekly Press Review.
Weekly Press Review.
We're about 3 minutes away